Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's Failrace episode on GTA 5 with Dommy the God. Having a little bit of bad luck, got themselves caught up on a sign, things went quite wrong, they've dropped down the field. Now, another player in this race is not particularly sporting, decides to push them into a wall. Thankfully, GTA physics lets them get away with it relatively well, I have to say. It would have been better if they'd kept the place and everything, but still, being fired into a wall does not normally end that nicely. So, well done. Cuda up next on GTA 5. Now, this is the very, very first mission that you do when you load up the game. And, I mean, we've seen all sorts of silly things go wrong in GTA 5 over the years. But, I mean, this one, you're just kind of driving the supercars through the street, heading up towards the jumps that, well, things can get a little bit dicey on. And sure enough, they managed to land on the bonnet of the car they're supposed to be following and parked. Lovely. Well parked into the wall. I think you could actually shuffle this. Although a bit of a meal of trying to get the car out. I think you could shuffle it around if you steered the other way. But still, first mission already managing to park it in places a car probably shouldn't. Falcon King up next on Gran Turismo 5. Now, this is supposed to be an overtaking challenge. You're supposed to kind of work your way through the field. However, the game has balked and everything has gone wrong. Yeah, it's a Corvette parked on top of it. I think that was a Di Tommaso back there. For whatever reason, I mean, it's you don't see it as a very quick sort of clip, but for whatever reason, the car at the front just doesn't go, and everything plows into the back of it, and it doesn't know what to do. I'm actually kind of surprised. I didn't expect Gran Turismo to have the physics to allow cars to kind of park on top of each other like they do, but there's a Zonda and an R390 are stuck. It's not a Di Tommaso, it's a Ferrari of some sort. There's a wheeling, I don't know what is wheeling at the back of that little train. It's a mess. It's made life very easy for the player, I will say that much, but it has made the race incredibly messy. Speaking of, Anakin Skywalker up next on Forza Motorsport 7 with an AI car starting in the pit lane for whatever reason and not really knowing what to do. So it first of all stops and gets reset and then gets released, and then it's heading up towards the first corner, and it initially starts slowing down, and then no, we're just going to go and straight into the barrier. For whatever reason, it then gets going again. Okay, we'll run along the barrier. At some point, the pathing will reset, and it'll figure out that the VXR8 is supposed to be on the road. It then almost makes itself back onto the road set, but now we're just going off to the left again. We'll ping off of the wall, and then we're going to go and visit a fire truck, because that's it. I have no idea why this is the pathing that went on. But apparently that is where it is going to go, and that is where it is going to park. That's where it remains for the rest of the race, just parked against the fire truck. A Grim Reaper up next on Driveclub with a Zonda going for the gymnastics medal in this one. It's a lot of cartwheels. Zonda along here before it bounces. Unfortunately, doesn't land on its wheels, skids along on its roof, and that is the end of that. Carfan 93, a little bit of a sped up replay to start, they're not quite that quick. But this on GTR 2, heading to the pit lane. Now the player car, the Aston, is a little slower coming to the pit lane than the cars behind, and they didn't really like that. So the Aston's off. I think, is it a Ferrari? Maybe? No, it might be a Corvette actually. Something scooped and dumped the Aston Martin. I mean, that's the view from the Aston Martin. Yeah, that got dumped off the circuit quite nicely in all of that. Still Guns up next on F1 2021 is driving the Haas. It's actually getting some overtakes done. Gets a little bit ambitious against Ocon. Has a dive up the inside, hits the sausage curb, but I mean, this is a little bit more airtime. It has to be said. A little bit more airtime for the car. But yeah, I mean, it's a half sensible overtaking spot, but it's too far to the inside. But once it hits the curb, it's just launched. Yeah, it's too far. It's basically cutting the corner, but with the curb there, it's just going to launch the Haas into the air. And it is, yeah, it's a big launch off that. Doesn't quite go clean over the top of the Alpine, but there we have it. Unusual Infuriation up next on Assetto Corsa. So this is the very start of a race with, incredibly fast pre-war classic vehicles. Now, these are not easy to drive. They're very quick. They are not easy to drive at all, although this is going for one of the highest speeds we've ever seen in a video. It runs wide, clips a wall, and pings off to space. It is gone. As you can see, the miles an hour are still falling well over 1,000. Now, it took a little bit of work, but freeze frame at the right point, that is 31,500 miles an hour. That, I think, might be the highest speed ever obtained in a Failrace video. I'm not sure, but it's definitely up there, if you ignore spaceships, basically. Down Under Thunder is up next on Farming Simulator with one of the kind of road trains. Now, it's trying to deposit stuff at whatever this silo, I guess this is. Thing is, trailers and road trains are a recipe for glitchiness. In just about any game, really. In Farming Simulator, where vehicles can get a bit glitchy sometimes, this was never looking good, and sure enough, it's got stuck. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. I was half expecting it to go to space, but no, it's just got angry, and you're not getting that combination of trailers out of there ever again. And finally, we have Zack Attack on the long drive, also playing around with a road train configuration, only this using the little trailers. Now, I can already tell you this is likely to be a bit of an iffy idea, and I mean, you can see they haven't got any wheels for a start, and physics has had enough, and the truck's spun, and then physics has really had enough. First, it gets angry by depositing bits one at a time out of the truck, then it launches everything skyward, which is never a good sign in this one. Still bits are falling out of the truck. As it lands, a wheel pings off, more bits have fallen out of it, physics is still angry, some more wheels have pinged clear, the truck sort of rolls back onto its wheels while physics hasn't really settled properly in this. It looks like it might be sorted, so the player decides to get out of it, and that was a bad decision because they've been killed. The physics is still not happy. It turns out, the truck, as the player rolls around dying, the truck's pinged off to space again. Turns out, do not have 3 trailers without wheels behind your truck. It will go badly. I didn't expect it to go that badly, but it will go badly. That is for sure. Anyway, that is going to be it for this video. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to the series, you can via a Google form. There'll be a link to it in the description. All the rules and how it works can be found on there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.